y'all, Heretic here, and today we're going to be talking something more different. We're going to go a little lighthearted. Normally we sit here and we do news and we talk about all the different changes to the game, and maybe we rank things by power and scale of all these dramatic things that affect how we play the game. But today, let's go light. Well, we're waiting for all the new mechanics to be announced, and everything's about to wind down because really, we're all getting reset to 0 soon, and it's just not as exciting. Let's go with something more lighthearted and fun. And today, how do I attract all these minions? That's right, today we're going to be talking Bartenders. The one cosmetic that you buy that you can see in every game. Did you buy a Mutanus skin you love? Have you not seen it because you haven't played Mutanus in weeks? Exactly. Bartender you like and you buy, you could see in every game. We're going to rank these based purely on my love of them or hate of them. I'm curious what you think about these, so I definitely want to hear in the comments the ones you prefer, what you thought was fun. I'll even post a link to the tier list. Make your own copy. Show us what you think, because I am very opinionated on some of these. I think cosmetics are the main way to monetize Battlegrounds as a whole, so they need to make good ones to make money, but I think they're kind of subpar. They don't move around, they don't say enough voice lines, but what we have is what we have. So let's rate what we have and see what you think about what I think. Now, I don't want to go into the cost too much of them, but I think it's worth mentioning because there is a cost attached to some of these, and some of them are crazy. So let's start right off the bat with the basic. The man who set the entire system. The standard has to be set here because Bartender Bob is the entry level. We all get it for free. We all know what it does. Bob is optimistic to a fault. Bob tells you, you got this. You're gonna win this one, don't worry. Some other line like that. When you're in 8th place, at 1 health, fighting 1st place, with no board to speak of. Bob has always got your back. I'm gonna say Bob is actually a very solid B. I think the Bob has to sit right in the middle because Bob sets the standard. Next up, we're gonna jump to Algalon. Algalon is a character from World of Warcraft. It is a robot, it is basically a program, it's kind of boring. It's supposed to be some kind of celestial being, but I get no emotion of any value whatsoever. Very unpassionate, very blah. And at 700 runestones, nothing I ever wanted to play. So unless someone from chat makes me, we're not going to use Algalon. That's a D. Alterac Bob, very much being a Bob, I feel like is the same as the generic Bob in that it's very blah. It says the lines, if you like Bob, you have to like Alterac Bob. But Alterac Bob doesn't say anything new, and he actually costs some runestones at 500. Well, not exciting. It's I can't even put him equal to normal Bob because he also costs money and he doesn't do anything really cool. Bartendotron, well, you can't get him as far as I know anymore. Maybe individually in your shops you're seeing him and I can't, but he only came in a bundle way back when, and he was 20 bucks for the bundle. He came included. Once again, his voice lines are very generic. He's kind of a cowboy butler robot. I'm not super excited by Bartendotron. But that being said, he's not horrible. I'm going to put him at a C, but he's almost a D. He's borderline annoying to me. Next up, we have Butler Dribble. My chat loves Dribble. They constantly pay points to make me play him. I hate Dribble. Dribble is trash. Dribble's voice lines are bad. He's just an obnoxious person. He's helpful, but he wants to kind of lick your boots the whole time. I despise Dribble. D, I'd drop him off the list altogether into a whole new category of I hate him. Probably my most hated bartender by far. I cannot stand the voice lines for Dribble. Next up, Chef Nomie. Some fun, over-the-top voice lines, but overall kind of forgettable, kind of blah. Coming in with, I think it was 1,500 runestones for this guy. Just no. If I check my notes, he was 1,500 runestones just for him. I just, no, C. Not a D, but not far off. Dragon Speaker Bob came in a bundle only. The bundle was $12.99. Basically, it's once again Bob doing generic Bob things, except every now and then he also mentions dragons. C. I mean, I'd put him at B with Bob if he was free, but since you have to pay for him to drop a couple one-liners about dragons, he sits as a solid C to me. Elder Starsong. When this one came out, it was one of the few I didn't buy. I almost always buy them for chat. I listened to the voice lines online. I was horrifically, they're just boring. There's nothing new or fun being offered here. Maybe it has a nostalgia trip for some character you know from WoW, but I never cared. It came in at $9.99 when it came out. I don't know what it is now for you when they're offering it. This is a D. I will never buy this. I won't spend any money on it. If you make it 100 runestones, I probably still wouldn't take this thing. Fizzy is fun, cute, a lot of adorable voice lines. Fizzy seems like they're having a good time and seems like a little fun. Fizzy came in a bundle that was $9.99. It came with other things. That being said, Fizzy is enough fun where I think Fizzy does deserve to be a B. It's just good fun. Flightmaster Dungar, kind of a forgettable one. Came in a bundle, was $19.99. Had a couple minor voice lines. A good callback to you WoW players, but otherwise, no, not really interested. Not a D, but not far off. Next up, we have Gala Medivh. Medivh was a lot of fun. Was a great callback to WoW for those fans. Was phenomenally done, voice acted very over the top, very silly, very kind of self-aware of what he was and what it was doing. I feel like Gala Medivh is way up there. Definitely a solid A for me. Came in a bundle, was $9.99, but still, this one's actually one of the best ones to me. Definitely an A. Greatfather Boom, very over the top, came in a bundle. I believe it was a $19.99 bundle, but it came with a bunch of other things. And Greatfather Boom was actually just fun. I think it had some good voice lines, very goblin-y, fit perfect with the whole Christmas theme or Winter Veil, I think it was in WoW. A solid A again. Another good, fun hero. A lot of good times to have him just chiming off in the background with random stuff. Harth Stonebrew, another standard. The voice that kind of inspired the whole Hearthstone idea, the main character and everything, even more than Bob, at least in all the animations and the initial launch of it. Kind of fallen off, don't really hear him as much more now, and just when you open up a pack and you get a legendary, you hear that voice. Hearth, solid B for me. I can't give him more than that because he's kind of fallen off. You don't hear him as much anymore, but that very iconic sound, I feel like, once again, sets the standard. So putting it in B with Bob and all them kind of feels like where it belongs, has this baseline. This is where things start to be good. The Headless Horseman for me is a massive WoW thing. I played so much World of Warcraft back in the day, and this event was one of my favorites. I loved the voice lines. I love that basically they took all the voice lines from the game, put them in, re-recorded them, made them sound better. They're just phenomenal. Now, this is a pure bias thing here. You would only get him in a bash event, so there's no way to get him right now. It never was any money. It was just a freebie thing. I adore the Headless Horseman. I want to say S, but I do get tired of it after a while, so it's a solid A. Very good voice line, very well done, and at free, kind of hard not to put up there. Headmaster Kel'Thuzad is predictably evil. He sounds kind of oily, but at the same time, he also loves his cat. He constantly talks about his cat. He wants to turn the tavern into a kitty cafe. Yes, the voice line is there. If you haven't heard it, go look it up on YouTube. It is phenomenal. Once again, Kel'Thuzad, to me, solid A, very good. Just overall, one of the best. Love it. Cannot get enough of this one. Lady Deathwhisperer came as a Season 3 reward you'd unlock for the Battlegrounds Pass. Good, solid, if you like undead. Very modulated, kind of doing the same dark thing. And it's just not quite... It was evil, but it was evil without the fun of evil. Kind of like, you know, if you picture Wrathion as a bartender, there would be a goofy, over-the-top evil. This is not here. This is just... It's well done, and it came as a season pass reward, so I'm going to put it as a C, but it's just not good either. Lilian Singh came in at 700 runestones. Wasn't bad, but the voice lines are all forgettable. They offer nothing. I tried a number of times to play this and just have it on because I do pay attention to my bartender a lot because I'm hearing it all the damn time. And just forgetful is the best way to describe it. At 700 runestones, it's not really worth it. I'm not going to put it down at a D because it's not offensively boring to me. But at the same time, it's lacking any quality. And I feel like paid cosmetics like this really need to deliver a little more. So I wouldn't buy it, but I can see where it's for somebody. It's just not for me. Next up is Macey Jinglepocket. Macey, a lot of fun, very Greatfather wintry themed, but from a goblin perspective, definitely one of the more interesting things. Came in a battle bash, So it was free, definitely not bad. I'm gonna say a solid B for Macey. Nothing wrong with the voice lines here. They're very dependable, very solid. Nothing great, but considering it was free, perfectly placed at B. Mega Bob. Mega Bob, I guess, is supposed to be your Zordon, your Power Ranger fan, superhero thing. Came in, I think the cheapest I saw it was 300 runestones, so kind of giving it away. But basically, it's Bob sounding like he's talking to you from inside the bathroom. I don't want to talk to the barkeeper while he's in the bathroom doing his business. Murloc Bob is probably my favorite. Murloc Bob took your dumb Murloc jokes, jammed them together, and threw a bunch of incomprehensible gobbledygook at you, but was a lot of fun. I think Murloc Bob is probably right up there in my top. I'm gonna say it's a solid S for me. Yes, it was like 1,000 runestones for just it. Yeah, that felt like a lot, but I had so much fun listening to Murloc Bob ranting and doing his Murloc-y thing. I have to say Murloc Bob, by far, my favorite. Neptulon. What do I have to say about Neptulon? I think I saw him at 500 runestones once. Neptulon is got a big booming voice, likes to talk about the elements, and other than that, forgetful is the only word I use to describe this guy. Not sure if I'm going to say this right, but Papparazzo Ro'kan? This roadie for ETC was put as a season 4 reward for Battlegrounds. I also find this one to be incredibly forgetful, not really bringing anything to the table. I didn't find anything they said terribly funny. The voice lines are nice and clear and sound great, but they're nothing. There's absolutely nothing. I never want to play this one. There's nothing good about it. Pirate Bob. Pirate Bob is a Bob, and guess what? He's a pirate. Pirate Bob was $9.99. So if you want to spend $10 to hear Bob make pirate jokes, now it would be 1,000 runestones, go right ahead, but this is forgetful at best for me. It's not offensively bad, but at the same time, unless you're a Bob fan and you want all things Bob, you can live without Pirate Bob. Radnar Shredaxe had a good name, had some decent sounding voice lines, but very forgettable at 1,000 runestones. Definitely not their best work. I actually don't like this one at all, so I'm putting it way down in D. This is one of the ones I bought for chat. It's just so everyone can hear it, so they can know if they like it. And boy, dude, I regret those runestones spent. Tiki Rag. Tiki Rag came in a bundle. It was $9.99. Tiki Rag has some great voice lines. If you like Rag, he does some predictably goofy things that he says. Comments about Murlocs again and lighting people on fire. Rag is a lot of fun. I have to put Tiki Rag up at S tier. One of the go-to for me, if you ask me which ones I want to play, that's one of the top ones by far, hands down. Scorekeeper Bob, another Bob. Bobs are typically pretty lackluster, it seems. We had some good standards set early, and then for me at least, they're very big fails. This one is forgettable at the absolute most. It was a Battle Bash thing, so it was free, and even free, I feel like it was kind of too much. Unless you're just a Bob fan, in which case, hey, you got to collect them all, right? Soulciologist Malicia, something like that. Came in a bundle, was 2,500 runestones. Has no real good voice lines, just kind of sounds angry and not interested. The worst teacher you ever had. Solid D for me, just not fun, not worth the time or even hearing. Save your runestones. Tuxedo Bob. Tuxedo Bob is Bob, but Bob, who's kind of goofy and flirty and having a very good time, came in a bundle, I think it was $9.99. Tuxedo Bob is a pretty good one for me. I don't know if I'd put it at A tier, but it's definitely a solid B. Tuxedo Bob, with a much longer and more complicated name, is some good goofy fun, especially if you get down into those flavor emotes. Good hero, well worth the runestones. Venari. Venari came in a bundle, was $9.99. Venari is kind of heavily modulated, very abrasive. I didn't like Venari in World of Warcraft, and I still don't like Venari now. Please don't. Just D, trust me, if you need to, go look it on YouTube. Go. Wrathion. We're gonna finish here with Wrathion, and what can I say? Do you like your men smoldering, kind of dripping the whole time they're talking to you with innuendo and looking at you with one eyebrow raised with a weird little smile on their face? Are they flirting with you? Are they being helpful? you can't tell, but no matter what, you're either really into it or you feel like you need a shower after. At the same time, Wrathion was a lot of fun. I enjoyed the voice lines. It was very goofy. I'm going to put it as a solid A. I liked Wrathion. I thought he was fun. That's my list, folks. That's my take. What do you think? How would you rank these? And what do you think of the icons? This is a pet peeve of mine I've had for a while about Battlegrounds in the art. When you go look at it, it's going to show you the different categories in your cosmetics, and it's going to tell you, what the board is, what the heroes are. But when you get to the icon for the bartender, why on earth is it a star? Why isn't it something more related to, I don't know, having a bar? Having anything to do with a bar as opposed to a star. I looked to see if there was a weird connotation, something I was missing, some weird bit of trivia I didn't know, and I couldn't find anything to do with bars and stars. And I've watched a lot of shows and a lot of things over the years with bars in them, and I've been in bars before, and I don't see stars anywhere. I mean, I see mixers to shake your fancier drinks. I see lots of beer mugs. Hell, I see more dirty rags used to clean the bar that I think would be more representative, even if it wouldn't be a great looking icon, than a star, which just leaves me confused. So I'm not sure. I wish, if someone knows, tell me in the comments why they went with a star. Maybe it's something I'm just missing from a developer interview or something, but I'm curious. I want to know why a star. Let me know what you thought, folks. I had fun making this. It was something very different. It was very light, nothing serious, no hardcore stuff. Still a lot of research because I wanted to look up the cost of what things did, and I wanted to look up the different times they came into the game and I did listen to all the voice lines, all of them over again. I just spent a few hours digging through it all to experiment and remind myself, because some of them I hadn't listened to in a while, and some of them I was glad I hadn't listened to in a while. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Thanks for listening. I'll see you in the Battlegrounds. Until then, have a great day. Later.